I have in my hand an amendment we're going to extend next year, school year, throughout the entire year to minimize disruption. School ends on July 31st, but this runs through August 26th of 2023. So we're going to go another year. In the interim, we're going to increase our inspections to make sure everything goes well, continue on our planning, and then we hope to be able to relocate Seagull Schools here on our grounds in this campus. We're actually going to be displacing city personnel to be able to do that, to accommodate the school, its teachers, and most importantly, the students. So I think we've worked really long and hard. Mike Formby deserves a lot of credit on this. It's been a commitment by us to do the right thing. It's not been easy to figure out because there are a lot of moving parts. But I think we figured it out, and I feel really good about that. So with that, I'd like to bring up Megan McCorriston, who's president and CEO of the school, and have her share a few words.
So I just want to say thank you to the mayor and the managing director, Mike Formby, for all their help with really addressing a lot of the families' concerns here. And I think first and foremost, the families really wanted some assurances that those who enroll in our school next year could finish out the school year without any interruptions next year. And as Mayor mentioned, that school year for us begins on August 1st, which is right around the corner. So we're just thrilled to announce to the families that we can give them that school year next year uninterrupted. They can enroll and not worry about having to move mid-year. So we really appreciate the concern and the attention that the city and county gave the families and the children who attend our school here. So we're very excited about that. And secondly, it really allows Seagull Schools to work closely with the city and county on our plans to relocate. It gives us a little more time in which to relocate the school, which, as Mayor mentioned, is a very difficult process, and there are many moving parts. So, we appreciate that extra time to ensure that we get it right and we are able to relocate to a suitable location that's going to accommodate the whole school. So thank you very much.
Even though my kids are having kids now, I still remember having children at the preschool age and the challenge of all of that for parents and how meaningful it is when your young ones now are just beginning in the world. So we wanted to be really respectful for what preschool is all about. And one of the things that we talked about was we were going to make early childhood education more accessible, not less. And so what happened in this is that we got so carried away in wanting to help the school in the beginning because this was an overdue project that had just been deferred. We looked at it and said we need to do something about that in the right spirit, and then began to understand the complexity of doing it. So maybe one or two missteps along the way, but I want to thank Megan again, as she's acknowledged Mike. It's been a lot of cooperation. We feel really good about the road ahead, what's going to happen in the coming year, our plans, the ultimate relocation, and then at some point, a brand new school in these grounds that we're excited about. So with that, we turn it over to any questions anybody might have.
You said there are going to be a lot more inspections that are happening during this time to ensure
Yes.
everything's safe. Talk about that. How often are we going to see those inspections, and what exactly are you looking for?
Well, I think what we want to be able to do, first of all, I don't know the frequency, but I would imagine we'd probably do something since it's pretty accessible on a monthly basis, I would think, or something close to that. I'll defer that to the engineers. Right now we feel very safe about the next 12 months, but under the circumstances, that's more peace of mind for everybody, so we want to be able to do that. I think what we're going to look at is any further deterioration of the membrane downstairs. This was an interesting concept. They put all this greenery up here and water and dirt and whatever a long time ago, and it's taken its toll in the seepage on what that's meant to the cement, the rebar, the rusting, and the leaks and everything else. So it's more that. It's a real engineering problem. So I'm going to defer to them on the frequency, except I'm going to expect to have reports that everything is all good. That's what I'm looking for. I want them to tell me we're good, we're good, we're good, and if we're not, I want to know about it.
And then for people who might not know, what exactly is happening downstairs? You discussed it a little bit there, talking about the seepage, but what's the major problem? Is there a threat of collapse?
No, we don't think there's any threat of collapse right now. If there was, I've said this before, we wouldn't be here. But clearly, that cement membrane has deteriorated over time through all the leakage and all the water and the rebar. I mean, this is, maybe I could draw a parallel to Aloha Stadium that rusted out. It's something, that wasn't probably not the best conceived. Maybe in a short term, this was a great idea. But over the course of time, I think it's been, 42 years? It's been 42 years. So we're going to go about it differently when we go forward. Okay, and with today's technology and what they'll construct here and how they fix that downstairs.
So what's
Well, we're going to allow the school to be here all the way through this school year next year, which is July 31st. And then we're going to begin, we have until August 26th, as I said. And I believe for us to fix everything and rebuild the school, because we have to rebuild the school, it's about a 2.5-year time period. I'll check with Mike, but that's a timetable I'm working on.
And then what part of the city, I guess like campus, are you guys planning to temporarily, I guess, relocate to?
Okay, where we want to move some of our classrooms to. Michael, you want to talk about that?
Sorry, where's the temporary location going to be on the city?
The city employees, we're moving some of the people to try to make room for Seagull.
Yeah,
That's
so
just-
the employees are going to move to Fasi,
Okay,
and then we're going to evaluate the two facilities to see what changes need to be made to relocate the school there.
to,
Reference library and Mission Memorial.
okay. So we're gonna move the people to Fasi, the Fasi building, and we're looking at Mission Memorial and really that building,
Reference library.
in the reference library.
And then will that be able to accommodate the same amount of children that current?
Yes, probably leaving a little bit more. And right now, I think we said it, right now the enrollment's about 220, but you could go a little bit higher. You have been a little bit higher. Yes.
How many students are currently on the wait list to over the students?
Yeah, and I want to make a comment here too, if I can, not to belabor it, but I'm really proud of the plan that Mike has come up. But more importantly, having talked to the departments have to relocate, we really did put the school and the students first in this. And so that's going to be very disruptive for us, just our own city personnel, but everybody buys into it because they get the merits of this effort, if you will. So I'm really, it's a great story. It really is, you know.
And then, sorry, how long did you say construction was going to take?
We think 2.5 years.
On the,
Yes. Yeah.
and when it's complete, is the school going to be located still on this property?
School's going to be on this property.
Right where it is right now.
Well, it may be slightly different, whatever architectural design comes up, but it's going to be up here. Yes, it'll be a new school. We have to take this school down as part of the construction.
Is are you guys also working at any other, I guess, like early childhood development programs within the mayor's office currently? Or?
Well, we are.
It's under DCS.
Yeah, he's here. Anton's here. Let's talk about, the question was from Ashley. Come on up, Anton, and maybe we can bring up Tom. Talk a little bit, anything else we're doing on early childhood education. It's a good opportunity to introduce him.
Your name, your title?
Yeah, Anton Krucky, I'm the Director of the Department of Community Services. And, you know, we've been tasked by the mayor to really form the early childhood coordination for the city and how we're going to move forward organizationally. And so we've now, with a partnership with the Hawaii Community Foundation, have brought on Ted Burke, and he's going to be our the city's new child care coordinator. And he can talk a little bit about his experience that he's had. He's done a lot in consolidation of efforts, and so he's going to be the architect of our plan for the city. So I'd like to introduce Ted Burke to you. Ted?
Thanks, Anton. My name's Ted Burke, B-U-R-K-E, and my title is, actually it's the Early Childhood Resource Coordinator for the City and County of Honolulu. And just got an email last week, so just sort of getting started on this. And I think our overall goal of the project is to get a position within the City and County of Honolulu that can provide accessible, affordable, and equitable early childhood care for all families that want it in the county. I think a lot of the work is really going to be focused on working with those that are center-based programs, as well as the programs that are more home-based programs. And my goal is to get out and talk to the families that are on the front line, the workers that are on the front line, and figure out ways that we can support the activities that are already in place and provide resources for activities they'd like to see happen to support the field.
I know it's down the road a little bit, but is this going to be about the same size as it is now, or do you plan to expand it some since there's so many children on the waiting list?
Are you talking to school? Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Are you talking about the school or about this program?
This school.
This school. Well, in terms of the school, you know, we have this plan to move them, and like the mayor said, the actual site could be larger, and where we're going has larger, so that has to be worked out with the school on how they want to do that. Recruitment, you know, it's a difficult thing with early child care and parents placing their students and knowing where they can go. So part of this, the robustness of this announcement is so that the school can then operate and work with parents so they can initiate enrollment.
I might want to add to your question too. As we begin to evolve in our affordable housing plans, you take the Cornea boxcar lot, for example, on our master plans there, we're also going to be putting in early childhood centers there as well, and educational things as part of our overall thrust, if you will, and what we hope to see built and developed. I want to say something else about Ted. He's been in Hawaii for about 6 years, I think, right? 7 years at Easter Seals. This was not an easy position to find, but Ted brings a wealth of experience from the state of Illinois in this very thing, and maybe you could talk a little bit about his credentials. But we wanted to get this position right from the beginning, but between COVID and, quite honestly, not a lot of people in the job market with the kind of experience and success factors, if you will, and knowing what to look for was easy to come by. So we're really grateful to have Ted step forward. Is there anything else you want to say about you? Yeah, he has a great background. We can make his resume available to you. Yeah, I actually am very excited about the new school because we get a chance to plan on that and what that's going to look like. And so that's a whole new creation. Aside from fixing the garage, that's sort of the added benefit. We're going to build a new school on top of it, which is a really cool thing. And I'm not that familiar with these buildings, but based on when they were built, chances are a new school would be really most welcome. We've got the space.
For more children.
Yes.
It really addresses the shortage in homes. So.
Yeah. Megan, come on up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, what's unique about this location is that we have an abundance of space here. I think if you look around at other schools, especially in the urban core of Honolulu, you don't find a space quite like this. It was a very visionary design with the help of the city and county. When this was constructed in the 80s, it's a very deliberate village-style design, so you have a lot of open-air ventilation. This was ideal during the pandemic because it enabled us to keep the children safe, allowed us to distance them. There's only 1 or 2 classrooms per building. So I think this was a very visionary design for a preschool or any school. And we'd love to see it accommodate more children in the future because of the severe childcare shortage that Hawaii faces. And I'm excited that we're building capacity at the city and county level to address that need, as well as the state level. So it's exciting times for childcare.
Can you spell your name for us?
Yeah, it's Megan McCorriston, McCorriston.
And then Megan coming from?
Megan.
Can you talk about your vision for the future here?
Yeah, well, with every challenge comes an opportunity. So I think, when all of this came about, Seagull Schools really had a mind for not only addressing the need of the 220 families that currently attend our school, but addressing the need on our wait list as well. We have been looking into possible expansion of our program and how we would serve all the families that need childcare in Honolulu. So in the future, I foresee, working closely with the city and county on addressing that need, and also possibly looking into expansion in this area with the help of others in the community as well.
When I talked to you before, you talked about looking at other sites. Why did you staying here rather than those other sites?
So, number of reasons for that. This is a very unique location in that it was built to really serve a lot of the people that work here at the city and county. So it's actually a city and county employee benefit. We know that we also serve a lot of state workers downtown and pretty much anyone who works in the urban core of Honolulu. So during the pandemic, this was really highlighted because we serve a lot of first responders, workers at Queens Hospital, fire department, police department. So we know we serve a broad community here, those that commute into the city as well for work. So, we know we need to maintain that, and there was a lot of interest from both city and county employees and non-city and county employees in terms of staying very nearby, as close as possible to our current location.
What are your hopes on expansion of this movement? You talk about how many students you're hoping to add, or you talk a little bit about that. What you're hoping to come out of the expansion number-wise?
Number-wise, I think we would love to serve everybody on the wait list. Realistically, 100 children is maybe 4 or 5 classrooms, so that's what we'd be looking at in terms of another location, perhaps. An additional 4 or 5 classrooms. We currently have 9 classrooms here on this campus.
How many students are right now?
220.
So for city and county employees, do they have to pay to send their children here, or how does
Yeah,
Okay.
the benefit they receive is really they get to go up the wait list. Right.
Yeah.
So let me see if I understand.
We do have one of the most affordable programs in Hawaii, though. I should mention that.
So for the next year, are they going to be at this location or they're going to be?
So yeah, they get to finish out the school year, as Mayor mentioned. That's from August 1st to the end of August 2023. They will get to finish out the school year without any interruption here at this current location. And during that time, we really hope for a seamless transition in August next year, when we can transfer the students that currently attend our school to the new location.
Any changes to possibly new applications or people on that wait list? Because you have to, get in this wait list because of that shortage rate years in advance. So any kid coming in after August 2023 during this transition period, any changes in that operation or acceptance?
If we have the space to accommodate them, we'll certainly try. But as with every year, this is our busy transition time over summer when children are graduating, if you want to say, to kindergarten. So those children will matriculate out and the younger children will come in. But there's only so many seats, and this is why we speak of the child care shortage. We're limited in terms of who we can accommodate, and I don't know if that addresses your question, but we will try to accommodate as many as possible at our new location.
So
Off the wait list.
Where are the kids going to be for those 2.5 years while they're building it?
So when I think Mayor references the 2.5 years that it'll take to finish the work down below us in the parking lot and reconstruct the school, we will be at our temporary location. So we hope for a seamless transition where we can move the children out after that August deadline here in 2023 to the new location for 2 or however many years it takes to finish the construction downstairs, and then we hope to return to this current location here.
But you don't have that relocation yet? Or you don't have that relocation yet? Or
We hope we don't, but we hope we can make an announcement about that soon.
I want to really stress, though, on a very personal level, my understanding and commitment to early childhood education. I worked in this field for a long time in trying to support, in my former life in media, a lot of different initiatives over the years. Some were more successful than others, but at the end of the day, we still have a net result of having a real shortage of early childhood education available for our keiki. The advantages for a child are tremendous. The disadvantages are even more so. So as I said earlier, on anything that we might be looking at with respect to affordable housing, this project, or anything else that we can possibly do, getting the city involved, which is why Ted is now a member of our full-time team, working with not only Hawaii Community Foundation, but we want to list a lot of other partners here to help with us. We really want to address this issue. It's very serious to us. We can talk about affordable housing, we can talk about homeless, we can talk about early childhood education, and I will tell you that they have all great priority for us as a team. Okay? Anything else? Any other questions? I want to thank you again for being here, though. We think this is a really good story, and it's in your hands now. Okay? Thank you.